Well, good evening. I would like to call the February 18th, 2026 meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission to order. Can I have a roll call, please?
Gibson,
Here.
Kapler,
Here.
Ormsby, Satterfield,
Here.
Stake,
Here.
Stoltenberg, Wendland. Wendland,
What?
here.
What are you doing?
Got him?
Yep.
All right. Second thing on our agenda, past roll call, approval of the meeting minutes from our last meeting, January 21st. Commission's been sent a copy of the minutes of the meeting on January 21st, 2026. I would entertain a motion to approve those minutes as submitted.
I'll motion to approve the minutes as submitted. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion carried to approve the minutes of the meeting of January 21st, 2026. The next thing on our agenda, are deferring till we have a full house, and that is the election of the officers. And I would entertain a motion on that issue to defer that to a later date.
I will move to defer until all are present at the council. In this,
I'll second.
All right. Does that need a vote, or is it just? Yeah. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign.
aye.
Motion carried. We will defer the election of officers till we have a full house. Number 4, review of commission procedures. Planning and Zoning Commission is a 7-member commission appointed by the mayor, confirmed by the city council. The commission is a recommending body only, with the city council making the final decision. Regular meetings of the Planning and Zoning Commission are held on the third Wednesday of each month at 5:30 p.m. in council chambers at City Hall, 1609 State Street. The commission reviews such items as rezoning request, preliminary and final plats, and site development plans. Okay. First case, number 5 on the agenda. Case 25-023, site development plan, lot 101, Blackstone, first edition, submitted by Windmiller Development. And Taylor?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, case 2523. This is a site plan for lot 101 in the Blackstone First Edition. Bit of background, applicant is Windmiller Development. This is a request for 3 indoor storage buildings, and 1 is a contractor building. This is just phase 1 of a full 15-building development. The location is north of Spencer Creek and south of Interstate 80, just west of Wells Ferry Road. This area was part of a 2025 annexation. Due to the size of the project and location next to Spencer Creek, staff is recommending all future phases also require site development plans. So it's just for the first 4, and we can continue west. Future land use and zoning. The future land use map designates the site as community commercial, open space and parks, and then greenways. That greenway is all in the Spencer Creek area. Surrounding areas are similar designations. The zoning is C3 General Business District. The project will require a special use permit from the Board of Adjustment for the indoor storage. Last year, a text amendment was brought forward by staff based on this development that allows indoor storage in the C3 district as a special use permit. But that still requires that the project, even though it was the reason for that text amendment, to go through that whole process. So staff will recommend a condition, of course, to have a special use permit approved prior to council review at the next Board of Adjustment meeting. All other current zoning, proposed uses, future land use designation, and area ratios are all compliant and compatible for this area. I will note there's some along Spencer Creek. There's floodplain and floodway. Lot 101 does contain mapped floodplain, but no floodway. So floodway is the hatched area where no development can occur. Floodplain is the blue area where we can allow fill, meeting certain conditions from federal and state and local floodplain regulations. As I mentioned, all that floodways in that platted outlot, and the proposed development is permissible with state and local floodplain permitting. While the outline is not part of this project, the applicant does intend to plant some trees there, so I just wanted to point that out, but it's not part of this review. It was farmed, so just all that hatched area. Moving on to the site plan. 4 buildings are proposed in phase 1, totaling over 46,000 square feet. 3 buildings consist of indoor storage, and 1 building contains contractor condo units. Access is provided by 2 curb cuts onto Wells Ferry Road. The northern access is for fire emergency only. Stormwater is detained via an underground basin. Future phases will have a separate detention basin. I believe right now it's concepted on the far west. The site will be fenced and lit per the applicant, though it's not clearly shown on the site plan. There are 4 parking spaces shown on the site plan, off-street painted parking spaces, but there is significant room for either additional parking spaces or we can mark parking spaces on the pavement. City engineering staff requested a site distance analysis for the main entrance on Wells Ferry Road. Wells Ferry is traverses under I-80 on a slope and a curve. So this is that analysis. The site distance has been deemed acceptable, provided that the northern access, so there's 2 curb cuts, and the northern one is restricted for fire emergency only. The applicant did provide a landscape plan. A total of 7 tree factors are required for landscaping and are provided. Staff will coordinate on exact locations they are shown, but we believe they'll be safe from the site distance analysis, but we'll coordinate with them when they are being planted. Some building elevations for each building. So building A is the northernmost building on the 4 rows of buildings, and that will contain indoor storage with a interior access hallway. It's climate controlled. This is out of order on the site plan, but the second building is building C, kind of a mislabel. That building is also indoor storage with access on both north and south side. It will have a bit of a 3-foot elevation difference on the north side to the south side. Smaller units, personal units. The third building going from north to south, those are the contractor condos. Staff did look into a slight mislabeling. So the south elevation and the north elevation are, I think, mislabeled. It is the intent for the south side of that building to have the garage doors, not the north side, and that has the more maneuver room and access available to it. So that is noted. And these contractor condos have an office space, a bathroom, and then interior storage or garage space for parking and or storage. And then the fourth building to the far south, also in indoor storage, but a little different type for RV, recreation vehicle storage. So it has those amenities needed for charging, et cetera. Staff recommends, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend approval of the proposed site development plan for Lot 101 of Blackstone First Edition, subject to the following conditions: that the case will not be forwarded to City Council for review prior to an approval of a special use permit by the Board of Adjustment. I added consider fencing and lighting for the security of the development, and identify that on the site plan. That's really just reiterating, we don't have a code requiring that, but all with previous indoor storage or storage lots, we really are highlighting that from a public safety perspective. The applicant has, they are showing a gate, a secure access gate, so I think just showing on the site plan is going to be sufficient. And then it was noted late, a dumpster location was not identified in the site plan, so that is another condition added to the recommendation. I can take any questions.
Thank you. Mark, any changes since publication?
Just the ones Taylor's outlined with that mislabeling on his elevations.
Okay, thank you. Any comments, questions from commission members or in the room or online? Go ahead, Guy.
The security fencing, and you said we don't have tight regulations, but is there a minimum standard on what qualifies as security fencing?
For this type of use in our code currently, we do not have a minimum standard, no. So we can't, by code, can't require it, but through the site plan process, we can definitely encourage it.
On that same note, you're chatting with the developer about that idea, you've got consider in there. Where does that conversation stand?
I believe it's just that it was not shown on the site plan.
All right.
It's their intent to do that. so.
Pending.
And the applicant is here, so can
All right.
answer some questions.
Any other questions from,
Madam Chair, we were just kind of zooming into the plans. We actually think we can see the dumpster. It was just hidden kind of under a label, under another detail. So there is a dumpster there.
Did you
Want to
hear that?
assure everybody the dumpster has been found. We're good on the dumpster.
Roy, our esteemed leader who is online, did you hear confirmation of dumpster location?
I did. You know, Roy always
Excellent.
wants to know where the dumpster is, so, yep.
Valid.
Is one enough? When you look at and will there be more? This is what can be one long development when the future phases come in. Is one enough?
I would say at least initially, I'm not
Yeah,
well
initially,
versed,
but
but
yeah.
yeah, I can see where as you build out, you may want to seek guidance on how many you need per square foot or per unit.
Yeah. And we're good with fire and safety and the radiuses and getting around these buildings and the distances between.
Go for that one, Matt.
Yeah, we reviewed it. We're very comfortable with the plan they've set forth.
Great, thank you. Nothing else from Roy?
Out of curiosity, how do you restrict access to the southern entrance for general?
So I believe in other areas in the city, and Matt, you want to take this, might want to answer this, but we have a Knox box, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, typically we'll have a Knox box that's mounted that will give us, if they had a gate access.
Okay, so there will be a gate.
There is a gate
Yeah,
show.
they can have a lock or key
There's a
gate.
gate shown on that particular
Okay.
side, and other self-storage units are done that way
Okay,
throughout the city.
right. Makes sense.
Any other questions from the commission or comments? Anyone wishing to speak from the audience on this issue, this questions, concerns, discussion if any? No?
Lynn, one other question just from Roy. Since these contractor condos are there and there's going to be ultimately a large number of businesses, will they each have an opportunity to put up any kind of signage?
I think we've got a representative to speak.
Hey, Roy, Reed Miller here.
Maybe.
What we're planning for the contractor condos are, since it's gonna have limited access with the gate and it's not gonna be retail business, they're gonna be more come in, have your stuff there, grab it, go out for the day. We're hoping to get a lot of the contractors that actually do develop or do work on the building side of the business. And businesses that don't have a lot of traffic. But they can put the businesses on the door, I think is the direction we're gonna go with. We're not gonna have big signs on the building, and they're not gonna be lit, we don't want them lit. So it'll be just put a sticker on the door, that's your business. Pretty low key is what we're going for.
Got it, thanks, appreciate it.
And as far as the dumpster goes, we have another spot in the next phase for a dumpster location between the buildings. So it'd be just between the contractor buildings is where the dumpsters will be, and those will only be for the contractor units. We don't anticipate a lot of garbage, just because it's for contractors only.
Okay, great, appreciate it, thank you.
Other questions from the commission for our representative of our client tonight? Good? Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I would entertain a motion regarding this case, if we're there.
I move to approve with the recommendations of staff.
Do we have a
I'll
second?
second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Case number 25-023, Site Development Plan Lot 101, Blackstone First Edition. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
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 You know, just for a clarification.
Okay.
all of those were affirmative, is that right? Because
Correct.
there's not really a pause between the I and the same sign. So I just wanted to be clear that we were all affirmative. Okay.
And with the delay on Zoom, Roy and Ann, were you able to register your vote?
Yes.
Yes.
In favor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got a little ahead of myself, I
Well, no,
apologize.
I just wanted to be clear. Yep.
Motion carries to approve case 25-23 site development plan, 101 Blackstone First Edition. Okay, next on our agenda, case number 26-006 site development plan 4681 Competition Drive, submitted by Kevin Kellner, Focus Real Estate Development. Taylor?
Thank you, Chair. This is number 8 on the agenda, just for more efficiency for presentation. Greg can have the next 2 after that. So this is 26-006. Address is 4681 Competition Drive. Bit of a background, Kevin Kellner doing business as Focused Real Estate, located at Competition Drive and Friendship Path. The request is for a general office building to have a tenant of a medical device company. Future land use and zoning, the future land use map designates this area as community commercial, and the zoning is C3. Those uses are permitted in the C3 district, and the future land use map is compatible, and the comprehensive plan envisions this type of use in this area. This is a more overall site layout, just kind of give you some context of all the developments occurred out there, and I think this is pretty much up to date. The proposed development is located on one of the few remaining lots in the west, we'll call it the Westplex area, west of Middle Road and north of Forest Grove Drive. You just have a few on Competition Drive and then one lot south of the private drive that is just south of this development. Taking a look at the site plan, the building size is 10,800 square feet. Access is provided via Competition Drive, a curb cut, and a private drive curb cut that goes to Trillium. It's a private drive that goes, Trillium's farther east. 50 parking spaces are shown, including 3 ADA spaces, and this is more than the minimum requirement for code. Stormwater retention is provided off-site to an existing pond just south on a separate lot in the Bettendorf 3rd Edition. Sidewalks are shown and will be provided on Friendship Path and Competition Drive, not on the private drive. That's going to be more, that's really more of an access for Trillium, and it's not required by code for that private drive. Taking a look at the floor plan, that includes offices, conference rooms, a sales area, storage room with a garage door access to the parking lot. The west portion is planned as a future addition, but may be constructed with the initial phase. So I think initially the main tenant will be on that east portion. So if anything, this might be a smaller building, I think.
If you look on the site plan, you can see where that delineating line is.
Typically, they'd build this out as one structure and have a demising wall. I think that's what's going to happen. I believe that's the intent here. So I guess they're kind of proposing a phase, but if it's built all at once, this is what is the requirements for code. Elevation drawings, the proposed building will have similar architectural elements as existing developments in the area. You can see there. And the applicant did provide a landscape plan, and the total 17 tree factors are shown, meets the minimum requirements, mostly located on the frontages of Friendship and Competition. I will note another one omission, a dumpster location wasn't not shown, so staff will be asking for that as our only condition. But other than that, staff concludes the proposed development is consistent with the site development standards and code requirements and recommends approval for case 26-006 with that following condition, the dumpster location be identified on the site plan. I can take any questions.
Thank you. Other than the dumpster comment, any changes since
other updates.
publication? Okay, any comments, questions from our commission members?
I have none.
Okay,
No.
Ann, Roy, any comments, questions from your end?
Nope.
I do have one question, Lynn. Taylor, you mentioned this private drive that goes to Trillium a couple of times. Whose private drive is that? Does that belong to Trillium? And if so, does there need to be an easement or some type of an agreement to use that private drive?
I don't have the plat in front of me, but I believe it's either shared access or.
Yes, and it is on Trillium's lot. It does have a flag lot, but there is an access easement, all but certain. Mark's gonna verify it, across that whole west leg of it, because it was intended to serve both this lot and the lot to the south.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'd add the intent was to really prevent, Friendship has a lot of traffic as it's the westernmost access to these commercial developments. So curb cuts onto that are, if not restricted, limited. So a future development to the south, we'd also do something encourage something similar, curb cuts. And if you remember, the development to the west is one building's been built out of two, but two were approved and they had one combined curb cut. So we're trying to kind of concentrate the curb cuts so we're not cross traffic, et cetera.
And Madam Chair, we could just confirm, we opened the Betplex 4th edition plat and that, that utility and shared access easement between Trillium and the new lot or the new structure is there, it's labeled clear on the plat, so we have that.
Okay, any other questions from the commission? Concerns? No? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor or in opposition on this project? Oh, so easy. Okay, well, I would entertain a motion on this case.
Madam Chairwoman, I would propose that we approve case 26-006 site development plan for 4681 Competition Drive.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried to approve case 26-006 site development plan 4681 Competition Drive. Okay. Let's see. Combining the next two, is that how I read that? We're doing one at a time?
One at a time, but
Okay.
they're related.
They're together, gotcha. Okay, case 26-004 is a replat. Lindquist Real Estate Partnership First Edition, submitted by Damian Pepish for Lindquist Ford. And Greg, go ahead.
Madam Chairwoman, I'm going to combine both of these for presentation purposes, 26-004 and 005. The replat and site development plan for this particular location. This is submitted by Steve Lindquist of Lindquist Ford. We have Middle Road here, Belmont Road here, and we have the two parcels that are going to be joined as an end result of this. Looking at the surrounding area, we do see that essentially you have community commercial throughout this entirety except for the civic and public, semi-public area to the north. And then we have C3 zoning on both parcels that are being joined here in the replatting and considered as well for the site development plan. You have C3 zoning to the south and west, C1 zoning to the southeast, C2 zoning to the east and north on this particular location. In evaluating this, staff looked at the future land use and comprehensive plan statements. Goal 3, economic development, attract and retain businesses. And the idea behind this particular project or projects is to encourage redevelopment and reinvestment in existing commercial areas. As we look at this, we have two lots. Lot 1 of what was Hart's 3rd edition, and that contained originally 452,000 square feet. There may have been some of this area taken as right-of-way at some point, so that's why that sized area is reduced. It will be coupled with this lot number 1 right here of Crown Point Third Edition. There will be maintained, though, this easement that was meant for circulation for Tom Point Drive down to Belmont Road. And this easement was part of what was proposed during this platting of this particular locale. The end result is Lindquist Real Estate Partnership First Edition. The access easement is still maintained throughout this area. You have this lot of record, lot number 1 is this area right here. The outlot is located here, and then this is a second lot for development that is proposed in the future. There will be a vacation of a 10-foot wide easement right here. There's no utility there, and then these 2 areas represent former detention areas that were never used as part of the platting process. There's also an agreement on this joint access, and that agreement is referenced in document number 2003-53234 as to the arrangement between the owner of this lot and then lot 1 of Crown Point First Edition, which contains the Fairway grocery store. Originally, this is the last plat that was done, or the last site plan that was done, and there was a small addition added to the building. Over in this area is where we're going to see this addition, and there's a separation of a drive area through here. I wanted to show the parking on this site development plan because that's an issue in regards to the site development plan. Originally, what was submitted and what you had in your packets was a building area of 11,775 square feet with 6 bays in this building area. And 33 spaces of parking were going to be eliminated in this area as well. Essentially, what has occurred in the interim is that we've had a change in the number of bays, which are going to be 8, and the square footage now is 12,433 square feet. So it's about a 650 square foot increase. If we look at the site, and this is looking from Fairway, you can see the future building location. This is where the detention area exists right now, and that's where the future building will go. This is the main body of Lindquist Ford right here where the building is right now, and then the parking lot area for vehicles. This is Belmont Road, and this is the area that will be used as a joint access through here when this building is completed so that the car wash will have access out onto this joint access that was shown on the plat. This is the original concept of the 6 bay area. We go to the one that has been updated, and we now have 8 of these bay areas, but these bays are narrower than what was shown on the 6 bay concept. And then here is the floor plan showing each one of these 8 bays. This is the car wash here, and then contained in here is a restroom area and an area, break room, and other utility areas within the proposed structure. If we go to the access and thoroughfare plan, we can see different access points already into the area. This is the outline of where the building will go. There's a means of access here, and eventually there'll be a connection here to this access that is shared between Fairway and Lindquist. Utilities, what will be required is the stubbing of a connection underneath Belmont Road to connect to the water source. And already on this side of the road, we have a sanitary sewer connection that will be required here approximately. As we look at the pedestrian trail access, you already have a 10-foot wide recreational trail on this side of Middle Road. What will be here is already what is in place, a 4-foot wide sidewalk that surrounds the perimeter of this area and then continues on over through this dual access area. As we look at the parking, we essentially have 32 spaces being required for the 8-bay facility. 33 parking spaces were removed, and then there's addition of 12 parking spaces in this area up here. Staff looked at what the overall parking was, as I mentioned earlier, in the site plan that was shown, the most recent one, and you can see there's a substantial amount of parking. We do not want to be over parking the area. There are 53 spaces required, and we believe that will be provided on site with the lot overall configuration of this lot being a standalone lot. Clearly, there are enough spaces to meet the 53 space requirement. There will be sufficient stacking here as well for the car wash, and then you can see right here this connection here that will empty out onto the dual access area. Stormwater detention will be maintained in Outlot A, and this will be conveyed here and then further to the north to an opening that is right near where the church entry is. There is a grate that takes that water then into a regional detention basin further north. Landscaping was met. We had some trees that were eliminated, but we require 1 tree factor for the streetscape, require 2 tree factors, I should say, for the streetscape, 1 for the vehicular use area. There were 6 trees that were removed, requiring 12 tree factors. Those were replaced, and we gave credit for 2 trees up here that were going to be retained. So in the final total, we had 11 tree factors that were required. 13.5 tree factors are being provided on the site. So the tree requirement was met. And there was a total of that being met along. Also, we have the lighting requirement being met as downcast as we can see currently within the current design. Staff recommends approval of both the final plat, the replatting, the site development plan, because it meets goal 3 of the economic development standards within the comp plan, attract and retain businesses. And then the action item is to encourage redevelopment and reinvestment in existing commercial areas. I would ask, are there any questions?
Questions for Greg from the commission?
Under stormwater detention, you mentioned requirement for a water quality element. Do we specify what minimum requirements they are?
I believe our city engineer will answer that question.
We do. We have a full stormwater design manual. We do not specify how they do it. They have to meet certain removal effective limits, total suspended solids, some other things. Generally, it's an 80% removal. But there are many ways you can do that. So there's mechanical ways, there's biocells, wet detention basins are a popular one. So we do review all that, but no, we do not give them the how, just what they have to do.
I wasn't asking that. It was the fact we set a minimum.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes. Thank you.
Greg, it's Roy. Hey, can you pencil in somewhere on one of those diagrams about where the detention area will end? As far how far north it'll go, because it's kind of cut off the north end of that lot. I'm trying to get a perspective of how far up it goes. And is there a remaining developable portion of that lot that's not developed now, but maybe in the future then?
What we're looking at here is the outlot being right here. This is lot 1, this larger area, as you can see, is all of lot 1 over here. When we get up into where the detention area is, we have outlot A, which is this small area, and then we go to the remaining area of lot 2. Lot 2 is what will be left over for future development. So it doesn't go that far north. I believe it's about 174 feet maybe, but the majority of that area that is in the rectangular area that is not part of lot 1 is consumed by lot 2. Only about 1/6 of that lot area of lot 2 would be consumed by outlot A. And it does not front on any street frontage or right of way.
Right, and there's a pretty nice piece left between the other 2 triangles that under the same ownership and that one, so there's still a pretty good chunk left up there for development.
Roy, did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else from the commission? Concerns, questions? Anyone in the audience wish to speak to this case?
I had a question. I'm Steve Lindquist Ford. That access that you've got set for the full length of the of that lot 1 there, can that be modified in the future or anything? Or that's what your guys' plans were for having an access coming from Fairway on Belmont and traipsing all the way across the to the backside of Town Point, I believe. Yeah, the full run there.
This is the original access as it was proposed for this plat in 2003, and then there's the accompanying agreement that goes with that delineates responsibilities for both parties for what was Crown Point First Edition Lot 1 here, and then what was Lot 1 here, Crown Point Third Edition. And as we looked at it as staff, we saw that there was a circulatory pattern, and there was also dialogue on this issue about the means necessary for creating a circulation, because there is no through circulation through the lot up here for Bettendorf Christian Church. That got terminated, so that's why this was placed in, and staff felt it was necessary to retain that. Our city engineer can elaborate further.
Yeah, well, actually, we just sidebarred here, Greg. Let me jump in, and I would offer Chris or Brent to jump in too. I think we should retain the easement now, and then as future development comes forward, if it's not necessary and the applicant would like to remove that easement, I don't think the city would object, as long as the use that occurred there wasn't causing undue traffic and cut-throughs, you know? So I think we want to just keep it there for now, monitor future development, and if the applicant wants to come back and remove that, we would entertain that.
Yeah, and talking with Assistant Chief here, a lot of it will depend on what you guys end up doing, or if you sell that lot, what gets put there in terms of potential need for second access, specifically for emergency services.
Correct. And north of the fairway, the 2/3 and 3/4 acres, those triangle pieces, are they able to ever get access off of Town Point, or if they're ever sold? I'm just asking that as a general question.
Eric, do you have those? Oh, so it'd be the one right there?
There's two, yeah, one's
both
3/4,
of them.
one's 2/3.
Yes.
So it could be applied for if it wanted to have access off of Town
Yep,
Point.
absolutely.
And that's it, because the original drawing goes back to, I can't think of his name here, that owned the property when I bought it from him, of his plan for a long strip mall along that side. And he did the access, however he provided it at that time, and haven't had any development. And again, all I've done was draw a line, annex the property between Fairway and myself to add on this dealership, and then put the outlot for the detention pond on that piece to the north there.
Yep, absolutely.
So, just wanted, that's what we're up to here.
Other comments? Answer the question of the applicant? Anything else from the commission and concerns? Ann, Roy, anything to add?
No, that's kind of where I was just looking at, trying to get a feel for how it would develop with those other remaining parcels that they owned up there and how that would all lay out. So I'm good.
I'm good.
Thank you. So even though this has been presented as one, we'll have a vote on two.
That would be,
Each one.
that's correct.
Thank
yes.
you.
Yep.
Okay. I would entertain a motion regarding these cases. We'll vote separately on each one.
I'll move to approve case 26004, the replat, as recommended by staff.
Second.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay, the motion carried to approve case 26-004 replat, Lindquist Real Estate Partnership, First Edition. Same process for the next case. Motion, entertain a motion.
I'd make a motion, Madam Chairwoman, to approve case 26-005 site development plan for west of Middle Road, north of Belmont Road, in the Lindquist application.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We approve case 26-005 site development plan. Do we have any commission updates, any additional business?
No, we don't. We'll do an officer election when we're all here, probably in May, and
I can hardly wait.
that'll be great.
All right.
You did a great job.
Thank you so much. Watch this. Meeting's adjourned.